Hello, my ghoulies and my ghouls. Welcome to the Ultimate Yak, where I do the scrolling for you so your brain cells can live another day. Today we've got a Cardi B and Nicki Minaj fight, and somehow their kids got dragged into the fight as well. Kim Kardashian's new interesting piece to her clothing line that has everybody creeped out, and we will answer why people are saying J-Lo is delusional this week, and more. So to avoid your brains melting from social media, hit the subscribe button so you don't miss all the mess.
Where my ghouls at? Hey, it's time for all of us to rise. We stayed in the crevices of the earth, but now it's time.
By the way, you guys, I am sick. My voice is a little coarse because at Not Scary Farm, even though I had fun at the clown dinner and getting chased by them.
Thumbnail, we're not doing the thumbnail.
We're not doing
the thumbnail.
Yeah, we're good.
I can't reach it.
I'm out of breath.
Some man sneezed right in my face in the haunted house. Don't worry, I'm not pissed off. I'm extremely happy and mentally stable. Curse you, random man in the haunted house! I beseech thee! No big deal, I work from home. All right, let's talk about J-Lo. People were extremely confused because J-Lo's ex-husband, Mark Anthony, was trending because of all of these captions saying Mark Anthony came out. So everybody thought he was coming out, like out of the closet. But that's not what happened. He came out as in for a performance. Everybody went wild. J-Lo got interviewed about the performance. Well, this recent interview she did with Gayle, if you don't remember, she is an astronaut because she went to space with Katy Perry for about 11 minutes.
Gayle King, you are officially an astronaut.
Well, J-Lo got interviewed about the performance and people are, you know, saying the normal J-Lo things.
Mark Anthony, when Mark came out, people lost their friggin' minds.
I heard about this. I did not see it. I'm jealous I did not see it.
It is worth.
People speculate that J-Lo is kind of really into herself. She thinks she's a lot higher than a lot of people. And so her saying that she didn't see it, people are saying, well, there's Google, J-Lo. You could see it. You got the time.
Going online to see it because I know Mark Anthony, as do you.
He's a father of my children.
He's your baby daddy. Yes, as you do too. He came out, and I have him on my iPod. So
it's classic, an iPod. Honestly, huge throwback. I kind of miss mine.
I walked out there going, "Can I please be Puerto Rican?"
Gayle, you're already an astronaut. You can't be Puerto Rican too. Leave something for the rest of us.
It was just, you know, it couldn't have been a more perfect moment, and I didn't even see it. I know it was perfect.
Okay. We get it, girl. You didn't see it.
God didn't let me see it because I would have exploded.
Another reason that J-Lo is trending because Howard Stern asked her,
"Do you think you've truly been loved?"
No.
well, that sigh, the answer, and the video would completely enrage one of Jennifer's exes. And that's her first husband, Ohana Noah, who went on an Instagram story rampage exposing his ex.
Stop putting us down. Stop putting me down with your victim card. The problem is not us, not me. The problem, it's you. You're the one who couldn't keep it in your pants.
He's talking about her vagina.
You have been loved a few times. You have been married 4 times. Had countless relationships in between. You have had good relationships. Me, for example.
Keep in mind, I'm not a Jennifer Lopez hater, lover. I don't know who this man is. I just think, you know, a lot of confidence. I'm a great guy. I have no clue if he is a great guy or not, but he goes on.
I was in love with you. I even moved out of state, leaving my job, my family, and friends behind to support you, to love you, to protect you, and care for you. I'm an amazing, loving person, great human being, honest, faithful to you, never lied, never misbehaved, never cheated on you. I was too good for you. I'm too good of a man for you.
So that's what happened with that. In my opinion, they both could be horrible.
I don't know you.
I have no idea, but what I do know is that many people are saying that J-Lo is a horrible singer with this new clip that came out of her practicing for Spider-Woman, and so let's be the judge. You know, the comments are saying that she did absolutely horrible. They're zooming into this man's face. I have to say, I've seen a lot of videos of J-Lo acapelling it, and they were not good. This one, I was expecting, like, down here. She was, like, right here. I think she did pretty good for, like, a J-Lo. But I think anything that J-Lo does when it comes to singing, because people think that she's narcissistic and really into herself and thinking highly of herself, they are going to try to knock her down a few pegs. As if, you know, she has, like, vocal dysmorphia. On the topic of vocal dysmorphia, there's body dysmorphia, and it's very trendy on TikTok. Body dysmorphia is extremely scary. I thought I was huge in this video.
Boys, I'm on your level. That's what you say, but all I hear is noise. I don't have time for trying my love.
You know what, let's just move on to the next thing that went viral. Speaking of bodies, Lil' Kim was caught behind stage showing us that she puts the Lil in Lil' Kim.
All
all through my childhood, all through my teenage years until now. I didn't know that she was that little. And now I get the name. It fits. She is so tiny. I just want to like lift her up. Not my 5'2" butt cheeks thinking that I'm oh so much taller than her. How tall is she? How tall is little Kim? 4'11". For reference, I'm 5'2", which means she would be like shoulder level, so I could just lift her little body up. Probably like shoulder press and squat with her. Oh my God, I love when people are shorter than me. I just get to experience being tall. In other celebrity news, everybody hates Taylor Swift now and her new album. Taylor Swift's new album sounds so elder millennial coded. It's like she is now officially the millennial of pop music. Well, I'm sorry to break it to you, but she is a millennial, an older millennial, as I am. What do you guys expect from us? I'm pretty sure if we acted like Gen Z, you guys would make fun of us.
How do you do, fellow kids?
If we acted like boomers, guys would make fun of us. So you know what? If someone says I act like a millennial, which I am, and so was Taylor Swift, I'm gonna say, yeah, duh. Anyway, the Swifties and everybody else didn't like her album so much so that she had to talk about it.
The rule of show business is if it's the first week of my album release and you are saying either my name or my album title, you're helping.
Well, everybody made fun of her for that, but she might be right. It says right here, I'm reading that her sales are doing exceptionally well, according to the AI overview.
And art, I have a lot of respect for people's subjective opinions on art.
I love when people say this because we all know in our heart when we say we respect your opinion, we're really saying we're taking your opinion and shoving it up your ass with no coconut oil. Because how dare you not like my art? Come on, artists, let's be completely honest. It hurts, but we have no other option but to accept if someone doesn't like it. But we know in our heart that if they tell us, we're dying on the inside. The heart is breaking. Anyway, this explanation goes on a little bit too long for me.
I'm not the art police. It's like everybody is allowed to feel exactly how they want, and what our goal is as entertainers is to be a mirror. Oftentimes an album is a really, really wild way to look at yourself, right?
I don't know what y'all are listening to, but I don't relate to a lot of music. When I hear about somebody driving down the street and then doing cocaine, I don't relate to that. I'm just trying to shake my booty cheek, so I don't relate to a lot of this music.
What you're going through in your life.
I don't go through any of that shit that goes on in mainstream music. I know many people do, but a lot of the things when I listen to music and the lyrics, I'm like, some of this stuff could be avoided. Like how every song Usher sings is about cheating. This could have been avoided.
It's gonna affect whether you relate to the music that I'm putting out at any given moment. And what I often love seeing my fans say is, I used to be someone who didn't like relate to Reputation, and now that I've been through some other things in my life, that's my favorite album. Or I used to be a like fearless girly, now I'm obsessed with Evermore. Like, and we're doing this thing for keeps. Like, I have such an eye on legacy when I'm making my music. I know what I made. I know I adore it.
And that's all that counts, Taylor. Not how much money you make from it so you can fly in your jet. It's about if you like it or not. Anyway, all the Gen Zers are calling her old and a millennial. And since we're speaking of old and aging, let's talk about people who refuse to age. In fact, I think they rebuke it. If it's not fabulous, it's not going in my mouth. This was a post from Darcy from 90 Day Fiancé. You guys remember Darcy.
6, 5, 6, there you go.
Well, people were not focused on what was going into her mouth. They were focused on the mouth and the face.
Got that kava.
People are saying she got the kaba and that plastic surgery face. I'm all for plastic surgery and people can do whatever they want if they feel insecure or if they just, want to do it for funsies. But where I draw the line is when you are constantly getting it done and it just has that certain look.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I always hear people say when they are looking at someone who got like plastic surgery, and this is like minimal type of plastic surgery, they made their face more even, maybe they got their lips a little bit more plumper, but they still look like themselves just with like, a little upgrade. And they always say, I feel so bad for her. It makes me sad just looking at her. I never really understand that because obviously the person feels fine and they like it and they wanted it and they put their money towards something that they want. But when I look at Darcy, especially when I line up how she looked before and after, it is just so extreme and so sad and so just a lot. If you're doing a mukbang and people are not paying attention to the food that's going into your mouth when instead they're just looking at your mouth in horror, you might have taken it a little too far. I have misophonia, so any kind of mouth sounds, I hear it. I was watching this full sound. I didn't even hear the mouth noises. I was focused right on those lips. But if you're wondering, she really liked the nachos.
9.7.
Almost got a 10 out of 10. All right, let's talk about the fight of the year, the Cardi B, the Nicki Minaj battle. So this whole feud can go all the way back to 2018. People saw that Nicki liked some comments on Instagram that called Cardi B's bars dumbass bars. Then this thing turned physical at New York Fashion Week in 2018, where Cardi attempted to lunge over at Nicki. Apparently shoes were thrown.
Moments later, there's Cardi undoing her shoe, then throwing it at Nicki.
And she was escorted out of the event.
Nicki's team kept the shoe as Exhibit A.
Later on that year, Cardi announced that no other artist should be working with Nicki because she threatens other artists. There's songs that come out that are supposedly diss tracks. And in 2025, the girlies are still pissed off at each other on Twitter. And Nicki Minaj deleted all of these tweets and her apologies. Interesting. But she called Cardi B barefooted and stinky, said that she's fallen off the charts, she's all washed up, and saying that she could never outsell a queen like Nicki, which then caught Cardi's attention. And then Cardi goes on a Twitter rampage and people were loving it, calling Nicki a cocaine Barbie, a bored bitch, saying she's got the power to make bitches come out of rehab. You know, she's sticking to the whole cocaine thing. And the last post Cardi was just trying to clear up some confusion as to why is Nicki always focused on her and comparing herself to her, telling her to compare yourself to her peers like Drake and Taylor Swift. And then follows up with, oh, you can't because you aren't even close to them anymore, as in she's washed up. And that lit a fire under Nicki Minaj's BBL butt cheeks. And she decided to involve Cardi's children. Not the little chitlins, Nicki. Dear culture vulture, your mom is pregnant with another monkey. Whoa. To add to her litter. The gag is that she was jealous of a little baby boy simply because his hair was longer than all four of your bald monkeys put together. You know, when in doubt, go after the kids and their hair and then call them monkeys. I'ma kick your gums back into formation. Are we still talking about the kids? Barbie B said she wishes you was dead, even after beginning her little monkey. Yikes, vulture. It's bad for y'all. Yeah, I think we're still talking about the children here. You know, the cocaine allegations kind of, you know, Nicki, you're making it easy to believe. Anyway, Nicki deleted all of this and then issued an apology. Dear culture, truth is, I did all of this for a bigger purpose and one day you'll understand. You're a cute child and lots of kids have cute little funny looking gums. Oh, yeah, we were talking about the kid and the gums, okay. Before they grown into all of their features. One day you'll see this, so I have to say, I apologize. As in, I don't want to apologize, but I guess I will because you know. As a child of God, oh Lord, okay. And queen, oh my God, Nicki's always been, you guys say that J-Lo thinks very highly of herself. What is this? Of my community who look to me for integrity. All right, so now I know she's like, who looks for Nicki Minaj for integrity? Just wondering who out there does that. You're an innocent child and don't deserve any of this. One day your mother, aunt, and many more will be brought to their knees for what they've said and tried to do to my young prophet / beautiful boy. Take care, my darling. This isn't who I am. For someone who doesn't watch a lot of, you know, I'm not very invested in celebrities. I like to watch their movies and their music, and I keep it at that because they always seem to be, you know, they just kind of freak me out. But I think this is exactly who Nicki Minaj is. And swiftly after that, Cardi B showed her who she was. Dear Papa, this is blanked out, I'm not too sure, but that is Nicki Minaj's son. I'm sorry that your mama haven't cut you a birthday cake for the past 3 days. Because she can't take my success or happiness. One day you going to grow up, and I hope you understand when a girl says no, it means no. And you can overcome to the, it's a blank. Oh, like P-E-D-O. Blood you inherited from you and your grandfather, father, and uncle. Please don't hate me when you grow up because your mommy rather give me more attention than she gives you. Hopefully when somebody that really cares about her puts her in rehab and get her the help she needs, she come out and read you a book. Yeah, well, so their feud will probably continue after all of this. You guys remember Abby Lee Miller?
I said, Brooke, is your mother speaking for you? Do you want to be my face? Girls out the room. Yeah, you would eat me.
Well, if you're in Iowa, she might be coming over to your town.
Hello, good morning. I'm on a United flight headed from Chicago O'Hare to Des Moines, Iowa to teach all day today at Ocean Athletics, so I will see you there.
Haters are gonna say that it's a filter, and if you think that she hasn't been going through the most treacherous skin routine that preserves her skin and makes it look better than it did 15 years ago, you're a hater.
Your mom must be real proud of you too, Abby.
My mom's dead.
Anyway, anybody freaked out by the way that she's slowly creeping toward the camera in a sideways fashion?
And surprise, surprise, we are going to open up the Q&A this evening at 5:30. can pay at the door. So if you didn't get your tickets, the more the merrier.
Question for the ghoulies and the ghouls in the chat. Have you been cheated on? Did it hurt? Did you ever want to get back with them to just cheat on them back? You know, level out the playing field. Show them how it feels? Well, someone did on TikTok and she documented the whole thing.
So I got back with my ex just so I could cheat back on him.
And then right after that video is her boyfriend who cheated throwing all of her clothes out the window because she cheated on him. And she's just on the ground cracking up, laughing to Beyonce's classic song. And then also laughing chronically in her car.
You think I'm bothered?
Well, I have no clue this is fake. I personally think that it is because I didn't see no boyfriend on her profile, which if you're gonna do this, when you keep your boyfriend on the profile so then people can, you know, block him as they do on TikTok. 2, she barely showed the guy's face who was throwing all of her clothes out the window. And 3, her content niche is everything about her ex. You know, like pretending to be a tree in my ex's garden. Or pretending to be a cat in my ex's garden. You know, she's just always in her ex's garden. But real or not, people are loving it and saying that they absolutely adore women in men's fields. And on the topic of women doing manly type of things, let's talk about the most feminine woman that decided to start a podcast, Miss Pearly Thing. The woman who speaks up for men, protects men, and her whole podcast is about the male experience. The woman that many men with microphones say is the perfect woman, but they don't date her. If you're unfamiliar with just Pearly Things, some of her talking points is women shouldn't vote, all men cheat, high value men cheat, high value men don't cook, high value men don't need to show their emotion unless they're angry. So basically a mix of a preteen and a toddler, and the men in her comment section salivate at the mouth as she says this and they scream, "Yes, it's the truth!" Well, an interview would be going viral because Pearl talks about the hardships of speaking this truth and losing a lot of friends.
What makes you sad?
I would say I've had a couple friends that sort of like turned on me when I got famous. And that made me pretty sad.
Was it because you called them fat and then said that their husband should cheat on them because they're fat? Or was it the women shouldn't vote thing? Because both of those things I could see turning somebody off from wanting to be friends with you.
Because I never thought they would. So
really? You know, sometimes I wonder like what goes on through Pearl's brain when she says certain things and then wonders why people don't want to be friends with her.
When people that I like felt like I've been like good to betrayed me, I would say that makes
betrayal.
Yeah, that's probably, I don't like that.
Has that changed like your trust? Are you less trusting because of that?
Probably.
Yeah, I guess that's I experienced that when I got famous. It's people want things from you.
I'm not trying to be cheeky. I'm just saying we are talking a lot about people that are really into themselves. And I think it's always funny when YouTubers call themselves famous because I don't know who this man is. Maybe he's very famous. I'm not too sure. But I think of if you're famous, you're like worldwide. Do people know Pearl in Africa really well? Where if she's walking down the street, there's tons of paparazzi? Because if you can still go to Disneyland without an escort and hordes of people following you around on Thunder Mountain, you're technically just somebody that has a following on YouTube who talks a lot, me included.
Yeah, I had like a friend of like 20 years who, it was so crazy. I used to let her like live with me in the summers and stuff. And I guess like she got mad because I said something on a show and then she just said she didn't want to be my friend anymore.
The girl that you called fat and you made a whole story time about it and laughed about it. In other news, religious people have stopped trying to fight the Labubu and their demon, and now they are blessing them.
Yo lo bendigo en el nombre del Padre, y del Hijo, y del Espíritu Santo. Amén. Le ponemos poquita agua bendita, ¿verdad? Y luego le ponemos.
You know what? I'm happy that both sides found a solution. When you can't beat them, bless them. Speaking of blessings, Kim Kardashian has blessed us with a new piece for her clothing line, Skims. And people are absolutely confused and pissed. So much so that they're going to TikTok to write words on the screen, not talk at all, and just glare at their phone. Kim Kardashian, you cannot even begin to defend yourself about what you made for Skims. What the hell is that? All right, just a little critique for people on TikTok. Can we normalize giving context? She said nothing. I had to look this up. And you know what I found? It's pubic hair thongs.
How funny are these Merkins, you guys? We have different colors, different hair. This is insane.
So people think it's gross. People say, you know, Kim, we'll just throw out the bush if we really need it to be there. And, you know, I have to say, once again, as someone who does not follow a lot of celebrity type of things unless I'm making videos, did you expect Kim to understand that people would think that this was weird? You expected her to think that people wouldn't grovel and say, wow, pubic hair thongs, this is what we've all waited for. This woman doesn't even know the price of basic groceries.
I'd like to know a little bit more about what like a milk carton costs.
I guess she also doesn't know what Google is either. She's got assistants for that. Anyway, that's what's been going on in the streets of social media. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you want another video of me yapping it up, we just talked about the cult of Ozempic. Ozempic influencers who love to chant,
thin is better, thinnest piece will shrink our bodies piece by piece.
It gets a little weird and very prickly. That will be linked right up here. I hope I'm pointing in the right direction, or it's gonna be in the description and the pinned comment. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Yapping it up.
Where my goals at? Hey, it's time for all of us to rise. We stayed in the crevices of the earth, but now it's time. There's no time to wait. Fun is at stake. My goals, you know what to do. The touch of the darkness is here, while mortals run in fear.